When I first started going to university, bro, I had such a messed up perception of how to balance my time. And it's probably because of all these movies I've seen where, people who start college or they go to university, right? They you see them like studying and shit in their dorm rooms, and then like they'll flip over to a scene where they're just like partying for like 10 days straight or whatever. And so I figured, if I want to live like this, because I thought this was the shit, bro. Like seeing like people party and shit on like these it's like colleges on movies. I wanted to live that lifestyle, but I also wanted to be like a really studious student, studying and shit, being on top of my grades. And I also wanted to do like other hobbies and shit because like I wanted to be a rapper, right? So because I've seen people like Uzi and Drake and like other rappers, Future, and I've seen like the lifestyle they've glamorized, like the cars, the drugs, money, woman, and shit. I'm like, bro, this is like my dream life, bro. I want to be a rapper so bad so that I can do everything that they do and then more. And I was completely delusional, man. Like I stepped into that dorm room university, and it was such a difficult time because I had no friends. My family, they moved to Texas, and I'm there by myself in my student apartment. My all my friends, they're like 2 hours away from me. I have no car, so I can't go see them like anytime I want. It's like I'm stuck at university. I have no friends. I don't really know what to do with my free time because I've never had so much free time before. I've always had like a structured routine. Like I'd go to school, I'd come back, I'd eat, I'd study, I'd do my homework, and then maybe if I have time, I'll either like play video games or I'd go out with my friends. That's basically like my schedule. But now it's like I'm responsible for everything I do. I have to make sure I go to class on time. I have to make sure I make time for my friends, to make time to eat, to like basically like take care of myself. It's like my first time being like a real adult on campus. So I needed to make friends. So I figured, oh, I can like ask people like, yo, like, is there like a party happening or some shit? It's like, of course, it didn't go like that, but like, you guys, you get the point, man. I tried making friends. I tried studying because I've slowly started becoming like a worse studier. And like looking back, it's just like my mental health started declining, and so I couldn't really like focus on school and shit. And then I also had to find time to start like making music because I know I don't have video games, I don't have friends, so I can't put like free time into like writing music. And like I did that. I made like a lot of songs that I never put out, and I probably never will. But the problem was I couldn't balance any of them. And it's I've you receive so much bullshit advice like, oh, if you just balance all of them then it'll be fine. But it's like, bro, balancing does not work, man. I've tried it. I've put in like, if I have what, 6 hours a day, like 2 hours studying, 2 hours with friends, 2 hours on music, it works to an extent, but you won't develop, man. It's like the gym. If you only do maintenance volume, if you need 10 sets a week to grow like your biceps, so that your biceps are actually growing, if you need 10 sets to grow but you're only doing a half of that to like maintain the size, your biceps are never going to grow, bro. But they're always going to be the same size. You can work them as continuously as possible, bro. Like as consistent as possible. Like work out for 10 years of your life. If you only do maintenance volume, you will stay the same. So my grades were good for a while because I was maintaining it. But then once my grades dropped, I wasn't able to maintain it unless I put all my time aside into studying. And then it also like trickled down to like the other aspects of my life too. It's like if I wanted to make more progress in music, if I wanted to make more songs, I would have to spend more time on it. Because 2 hours a day, bro, that's what it take. 30 minutes to write a song, 30 minutes to an hour to write a song. So I'd write maybe a song or two a day. That's kind of like trash, bro. It's considering like when you're first starting out, like your music sucks, so it's like you have to like really put in time to actually like harness your craft and shit, like make it better. And then making friends, bro, like come on, bro, like you can't make friends. You can't make friends just hanging out with people like 2 hours a day. I mean, you could, but if you really like want to dedicate to it, like you need to spend like practically all your life just being social. And it's so what I found was, if I have these three aspects, I have making music, hanging out with friends, and studying. If I spent my time studying and making music, I had no time for friends at all. It did not work out. If I studied and hanged out with friends, then I didn't have time for music. And then if I made music and I hung out with friends, then I didn't have time for studying. So you kind of have to make sacrifices. You can't really have your cake and eat it too. And I have tried, man. I really, really tried. And like right now, bro, like I'll say like my social skills have gone down the drain because I don't use them. All I do is just focus on like what can I do to make my business grow? What can I do to make money and shit? Taking care of my family, taking care of my health. I do, I do like the bare minimum, of course, because you don't want to be like an antisocial prick who doesn't talk to anybody. So I do have time. Like of course, I see my family every day, and I have like one day of the week where it's like I'll talk to like my friends and shit, just spend time with them and shit. Cause like you don't want to cut off these relationships, man. Yeah, you can only have one priority, bro. Like one top priority. Like top priority by definition means the most important thing to do. That's on your to-do list. So by definition, you can't have multiple most important, because most important means it's more important than the others, So you can only have one priority. And what I've found is that you divide your life into seasons. Each one of your life, it's like a different season, a different era, man. Different page, chapter of a book. Each chapter of a book is not the same. Like each chapter talks about one particular subject. It does like interweave together and like have like, what's the word? Connecting ideas, repeating ideas. But for the most part, it's completely different, bro. Like multiple seasons of a TV show. Season 1's different from season 2. Season 2's different from season 3. Different eras, bro. Like if you in your bodybuilding era, all your focus should be on bodybuilding, making sure you get your protein right, making sure you're sleeping correctly, making sure you're eating like 6 times a day every 2 hours and shit, bro. Like focusing as much time as you can onto bodybuilding, and everything else stays like down here at maintenance level, so that you don't lose your gains and other shit, bro. Like imagine you're like bodybuilding and you're making decent gains, but then you don't talk to people. Like what good, like if you're working out to have a bit better body, to impress girls and like pick up girls and shit, like if you don't socialize, you're gonna lose like your social skills, and like having a nice body is gonna be worthless because you can't talk to anybody now. So like you need maintenance and shit. Like you're in your bodybuilding era, or you're on your like business era, bro. Like if you're on your business era, you focus as much time as you can onto your business. You don't work out as much as you'd like. You only work out to maintain it. Or you're in your like YouTube era. You're in your like YouTube era, YouTube season, where you're focused on filming videos. You focus on pushing out videos every single day, maybe like 2 shorts a day and like a full long like 20-minute long video like every day. That's how you make progress. You don't make progress by like dividing your time into like this and that and that and this and shit, man. And I've taken it to an extreme too, which you don't want to do, where it's like I'll focus completely on one thing. So like my business, for example, I will wake up in the morning, roll out of bed, and it's like I just hop onto my computer chair straight away. I got eye crusts in my face. I have boogers in my nose. I have like a stank ass breath because I haven't even brushed my teeth. I haven't even taken a sip of water, bro. I have like pimples and shit, like oily ass skin and shit. I just look like a complete mess because like I'm just focused on like my business. Like, oh, I'm gonna maximize as much time as I can so I can get as far up into like my business and shit, like make as much progress as possible. But then I sacrificed reading, I sacrificed meditating, I sacrificed journaling. And it's like, that's why you need to keep like maintenance volume so that you don't lose the gains of all these. Because like, it seems like logical that like, oh, I'll just cut out 2 hours of like meditating and shit and put that into my business. But then that 2 hours of meditating causes me to focus better. And so it's like, you can't really cut it off completely. You keep it at a maintenance volume where it's like, you aren't growing, but you're keeping the gains you've made. So it's like, you're not like leveling down and shit. And so I've like incorporated shit back into my life where it's like, I'll read again, I'll meditate, journal. Everything only takes like what, an hour max altogether, instead of like 3 hours, like an hour each. And well, I've been able to maintain it. Like the gains I've made, shit's beautiful. So progress is not linear. If you, let's say you start self-improvement, right? You start leveling your life up, you're reading, you're meditating, you're taking cold showers, you're going exercising every day, and it's good shit. But the thing is, you making gains, it doesn't go like that, bro. Like, you don't go from 0 to 100 in 100 days. 0 to 100 might be like 0 to 1 might take 100 days. 1 to 10 might take like another 100 days, and then 10 to 50 will take another 100 days, and then 50 to 200 will take another 100 days. That's how progress works. Progress is a linear, progress is exponential. So if you take like an arbitrary like time frame, for example, if you try to divide shit up equally, you're not going to make progress in anything, because it's like, I don't know, you want to be like part-time self-improvement and shit. It's like, instead of taking 10 years to reach your peak, it's gonna take 20 years if you spend like half as much time on it. And so you get this bullshit advice from people telling you that you can't just like work yourself as much as you can. Like, you gotta balance yourself and shit, take some time off and shit. But it's like, why are they telling you that if what you're doing is working? Like, if your goal is to become a bodybuilder and you're making gains, you're making better gains than everybody else, and somebody tells you, it's all right to chill out. You don't have to be the best bodybuilder. Your body's perfect the way it is. This person, bro, these people telling you that to slow down and shit, they don't care about you. They don't want you to succeed. They want you to stay level so that they can catch up to you. If this is a race, bro, like, and you guys are all running to like, let's say, it's like 100-man race, 100 people, and there's only 50 females at the start line. Like, whoever the first 50 people who win, they get like a wife or some shit. And you're running and shit, man, and you're like, you're top 50, and somebody behind you who's not gonna qualify, they're gonna tell you, yo, bro, chill out. You gotta like pace yourself so that you don't like burn yourself out and shit. This person is telling you that so they can steal your wife from you, so they can fuck your wife instead of you fucking your wife instead, bro. This is like, I've seen so much. It's just like, it's honestly like ridiculous, like the amount of people telling you to slow down when you're making progress, because you like dedicate so much time to it. You can't listen to this like pussy ass advice where people tell you to balance shit, cause it does not work, bro. Like, your brain only has so much energy that if you do divide your tasks, not only are you like dividing the amount of brain power you can spend on like whatever task, you also use like a little bit of brain power to switch over to like whatever shit you want to do, bro. So it's like, it's just like, it takes more energy to do more things, but then you're also not as efficient at doing like said things. It's kind of like, if you ever gone on a road trip and you want to go to the bathroom, let's say like your family has to use the bathroom, right? And you're on a road trip, you stop by a gas station for like a 5-minute bathroom break. Your family goes, you go to the bathroom too, you go take a piss, you come back, and then next thing you know, you guys are like hungry because you guys have been sitting in the car for a while, and now you're like, your son's crying because he wants food, your daughter's crying because she hasn't eaten since like last night or whatever, and your wife is like, maybe it's better to eat, take a break and eat and shit. And so you figure, maybe they're right, let's take a break and go eat. You go search like your GPS and shit, like try to find food. There's no food nearby, and you still have like 5 hours to go on your road trip. But you see there's like a McDonald's down the road. on the way to your destination. And so you're like, oh, let's go to McDonald's. You go to McDonald's, you order food, you dine in because you don't want to sit in your car and eat. You get your order, eat, clean up, maybe use the bathroom again because, like, I don't know, your stomach's hurting, whatever. You need to, like, you got to use bathroom again or some shit. You get back on the road to your destination. You got next thing you know, bro, that 5-minute bathroom break, this 5-minute break that you needed to slow down has turned into a 2-hour break. You could have gotten to your destination 2 hours faster had you not slowed down, had you not divided your time. And if you just kept going, kept pushing, kept doing what your goal was, what you're in season for. That's the same way, like, if you're doing stuff that's you're not in season for, you're not in your YouTube season, and you want to go film TikToks and shit, that's gonna take time away from YouTube, man. And you're not going to succeed as much as you'd like had you focused all your attention onto YouTube. It's like video games and shit. Like, you want to max out your stats, like, your agility, your speed, your defense, your power, your stamina, all these stats. You want to max out one stat at a time, bro. It makes no sense to, like, try to balance it all, try to max all your stats at the same time, because first of all, that's going to be a slow ass process. You're not going to want to do everything at the same time because everything's just going to be slow. You're not going to feel like you're making any progress in anything. Second, if you max out all your strength, you can put your strength on maintenance mode. You're going to still keep most of your strength, and then you can focus on speed, and now you have speed and strength, and you do this one by one until you're just like a beast across the board. Like, I'd rather have, like, an 80 on, like, every single aspect of my life, an 80 on socializing, an 80 on wealth, an 80 on health, rather than, like, 100 on socializing, 60 on health, 40 on, like, wealth and shit. So you divide your priorities into season, see what the season you're in is for, and then put as much time as you can into that one priority and put everything else in maintenance mode. And that's how you succeed. That's how you prioritize.